we got to talk about desktop speakers. Yes, the FiiO SP3, which you can barely see in this image, left and right here. Stick around, we're going to talk about it. Welcome back to Thrift Shop. Thanks for stopping in. Today we're going to talk about the FiiO SP3 desktop speakers. These things are solid. I should have weighed these things. Solid aluminum construction with this kind of, I don't know if it's cast or millwork. I imagine this is cast aluminum. But the fit and finish of these for $300 through APOS. APOS sent me these. All thoughts and opinions are mine. They didn't tell me to say anything otherwise. Absolutely beautiful, small form factor. Let's see here. It has a carbon fiber 3.5-inch mid-bass woofer, 1-inch soak dome tweeter with a nice guard so kids don't poke in your nice soak dome speaker tweeter. Nice waveguide. Look at that. It's absolutely stunning. You do get RGB lighting down below, which is pretty cool. You do get two style of stands. You do get like a 7-degree wedge and a flat kind of bumper to sit these on. I do wish they had something about 14 degrees or so, just to get the right height from, at least on my desk, because the tweeter was running a little bit low, but really not a problem due to the waveguide. Let's see, on the back, it's rear ported. You do get your volume. You do get bass control, input selection from line in or line 2. You can switch between right and left, which is beautiful. So I had my power unit on the left, so you just have to switch to the left. You can mess with the RGB if you like that down below. You do get a power button. It does have a nice, power brick that comes with this, so you're not connecting your IEC connection. This is your umbilical connection to the speaker over here. On the back of the other speaker, you just have one connection and a nice umbilical cord going to it. So these things are nice. Now, if you've been to this channel, most of what I talk about is headphones. Used to be a lot of vinyl, but that's for another discussion later. But a lot of headphones, a lot of DACs, headphone amps, anything that you can do at a desk, basically. It's what I've spent recently a lot of my time on my channel. I don't personally use a lot of speakers on my desk because I'm constantly using IEMs or headphones. Just a bit of a departure. Now, when I do, and I actually have it, I'm not sure if you can see it in the screen. I'll try to maybe show it. Nope, it's not going to pop in there. Anyways, I'll try to pop in some pictures. I mainly use, a little FiiO Audio BT20A. And I put that right here, and I run Totem Rainmaker or Dreamcatcher speakers, which actually have the same mid-bass driver, and I believe it's aluminum tweeter, but a little bit bigger, maybe, I don't know, 1.5 times, twice the size of this speaker, so a little bit bigger. That's a different package. These are self-powered, where that you need an external amplifier. But that's not my focus when I'm at my desk. It's really IEMs or headphones. So this was a clear departure. from what I normally do, and it's a welcome departure. And what I first noticed when I plugged these in, for me in my desk arrangement, you can see having one placed over here. Obviously, I have things that impede the direct signal path. So, for me, I would need taller speakers or speaker stands. At this point, I'm not going to invest into that for one speaker review, but in general, I didn't notice that was an issue. And the first thing I noticed watching YouTube videos on my screen is that the imaging of these speakers is very, very impressive. I've been watching Drumeo. I highly advise, if you're into audiophile music, that you go over to Drumeo. That's where drummers of different genres will improvise and play something that they've never heard of. For example, a jazz musician drummer playing hard rock metal, something they've never heard of, and they figure out the drum beat for that song in 1 or 2 takes. Absolutely amazing. They come extremely close to figuring it out. I don't know how they do it. It's amazing. Anyways, listening to these and watching Drumeo, it just blew my mind, because you could watch them play on the drums and it's very well recorded, and you could sense where, like, this is the drum kit right here, everything here. You almost like you were the drummer itself, and the sounds were coming in. The imaging was so close that I could tell what was happening within the speakers. So absolutely amazing. So imaging on these speakers is great. Of course, with Soundstage, I'm using the Holo Audio Cyan 2 in front of me. It's a great Soundstage. So perhaps that's part of it. But within the speakers is good. I'm not using these, far away, so I can't tell how the Soundstage is outside of it. But overall, I think it's great. Now, with this said, I'm not listening to these at 70 or 80 dB. The volume's relatively low. I'm going to say 50 to 60 max. I did notice when I did try to push these that when these did come in to me, the bass was really turned up, and the mid-bass driver could not handle that at all. So I had to turn the bass down quite a bit. They do have great bass extension. I mean, it was making my desk absolutely shake. So for little speakers, these things go really, really far. But I do advise that you turn the bass down, let it be more of a neutral speaker, give it what it wants, because it will dig deep. No need to add bass to this speaker, and it'll sound great. Now, I don't think this is for very loud listening. You're meant to be in a desk. Maybe you're in a edit videos or something like that. Need something, pretty neutral, which I believe this sounds a little bit neutral. I did notice that cymbal hits don't seem to image along with everything else in the frequency response. They did stay right at the speaker. Again, I don't know if this is because time alignment and the angle not being perfect for me, but otherwise, I mean, absolutely stunning speaker. For $300, I think these are absolutely amazing and a steal. They don't take up a lot of room on your desk. They're modern looking. They're great. Now, all this greatness comes with a few downsides. First of all, you have no digital inputs. I think if you had to do the list of things to do, improvements for this speaker, this self-powered speaker, number one, digital inputs, Bluetooth. And I did see when looking up the specs for this that they actually have the SP3 BT Bluetooth version, which actually has some digital inputs, but I did not see USB. I could be corrected. I didn't spend a lot of time. But the biggest thing they could do is digital inputs, but include USB, because you're using this at a desk level. It's meant to be near field. I wouldn't, even the umbilical between the two speakers is not very far. Even for, I have a wide monitor, it barely went that distance. I'm sure it could go further. I have it kind of looped around, but it's not meant to be used as a full room kind of system. But that's the biggest issue, is you don't have digital inputs. That'd be the first and foremost. Second is the power button. What a pain in the butt to have this in the back. I have to reach around, stand up, turn it off. You probably could leave it on. They do get a little bit warm, but I like to turn some stuff off because I do run my DACs all the time. I like to turn other things off, save some energy. But I think just having a touch sensitive power button on the side or on the top, just something in a way of getting the power without having to reach around and hunt for this button. It would be nice to have analog outs so that you could run a subwoofer. That would be great. And even though you do get volume control in this, obviously it's on the back. So if you had volume control in the front, you could use this. I found this extremely problematic. So when I first used this, I used it with my Denefrips Ares. Just connected the DAC directly in. And the problem is that every source on my computer that I used, I had to use the volume control. Because the DAC is locked out, it is at full strength coming from my computer. That meant every time I went from YouTube to Amazon Music to whatever, I had to make sure I had that volume control set on there, or else I was blaring. And it happened a few times. This thing was maxed out, just going crazy until I could get stuff turned down. So that's going to be your first problem if you're just connecting to a DAC, is you really have limited volume control. You have to reach around or use the software on your computer, whatever you're using, to turn the volume down. So most of my listening experiences for this unit came through using the IFI Pro Ican as a preamp, which I think the IFI Pro Ican is one of the best preamps that I've ever heard. Hands down. I have tube mode. I have a lot of things that can make it ooey gooey sounding and great. It is a great match. So I highly recommend, if you're going to use these, that you do have a good preamp, whatever it is, with volume control. That way you don't have to worry about the software volume control, and you can dedicate that to controlling this unit. So there are some quirks. I think for FiiO's first speaker, it's absolutely amazing. I think it's worth the money for $300. You're hard pressed to get this kind of quality for $300 anywhere. I mean, some speakers you can't even get a driver for $300. So to get all of this for $300, hands down, it's a steal. So hey, thanks for sticking around, Thrift Shop. Appreciate it. If you can, just hit the buttons, like, subscribe. Helps me grow. Appreciate it. Peace.